There has been a pretty common phrase being thrown around, floating around, thanks to a relationship expert or guru and internet personality, Keven Samuels. Uh, Over the past couple of few years now, high value men. Now, what I've come to realize that when he gives his example of a high value man, he's generally referring to people who make six figures and above as being high value men. So I want to say this: I have a great deal of respect for Keven Samuels, and I agree with much of what he says as it relates to relationships with women and men, and especially black women and men. But what I don't subscribe to, and I'm not beating up on him, I understand where he's coming from. I believe that all high value men are not six figure men necessarily, and they're not millionaires and up. I believe that you can make $35,000 a little bit more annually and still be a high value man. A high value man is a man that has certain principles and standards that he governs himself by. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. So he's a hardworking man, be it a man who works for a company or corporation, or a man who is a self-made man who works for himself, independent businessman, as it were. That's a high value man, and he has certain expectations from his companion, rightfully so. Why would you be in a relationship with someone who cannot return the same to you in kind as it relates to value? So if you are a high value man, you should have indeed a high value woman as well. Now, this might be debatable with some people. For example, let's say you make a lot of money and then you have someone who is a cashier at a convenience store. They may think, people in general may think that that's not a good match. Who's to say? You cannot control who you fall in love with or who you care about. You just simply can't. It does happen every day in America and somewhere else. So as long as that woman, that individual, provides whatever those things are that you need as a human being. And I won't say what those things are right now. I think most of us know what value is, real value. And I'm not talking about just simply from a materialistic standpoint. Value means your ethics, what you stand for, what you believe in, and your character being the grandiose thing is supposed to be the most important thing. Is what are you really made of as a human being? And I'm not talking about things that we conjure up in La La Land, our own imaginative way of looking at a person, that you should be this particular character from this particular show that I watch or this particular movie that I've seen and so forth. It should be what a man is supposed to be according to the natural laws of God, and what a woman is supposed to be according to the natural laws of God. A man is supposed to be a provider for the woman in many ways. And also, conversely, the woman is supposed to be a provider in her capacity for the man, not the other way around. He's not supposed to be carrying the whole load of the home. She's supposed to help carry the whole load as well and maintain. If he falls down or falls off, she needs to be there to back him up. And the same is true if that were to happen to her. He should be there to back her up. Just speaking in generality, I think you know what I'm talking about. So it is a relationship. It is not, I'm the boss, I'm the big king kahuna, and I control you, and that's the end of the story as far as the man is concerned. I don't see it that way. No, you have your place, and not the place where people want to imagine where you're supposed to be. Again, you have your place according to the natural God laws, the laws that God has set in place as far as what a man's duties are and what a woman's duties are for the man, for her husband, and so forth. It's really that simple. So I'm in a relationship. I'm speaking hypothetically. If I'm in a relationship with a woman, I'm going to provide for her to the best of my ability, and she's going to provide for me to the best of her ability. And I don't use that term or expression, best of our ability, loosely. I mean to the best of your ability, meaning that you would push a little harder if things were to go awry. You would. It's really the way it's supposed to be. And the same is true with the woman. Now, the woman should not go sit down on her laurels, as they say, and watch you suffer trying to keep things together and her not assist you. And the same is true in the reverse. But anyway, high value men don't necessarily make six figures, don't necessarily make millions annually. High value men could be men that work at a factory, that work in the restaurant industry, that work in a convenience store. That could still be a high value man. Don't think that a high value man is only someone who's riding around in Maseratis and Porsches and so forth. No, he might just be driving a Kia, But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. All high value men are not millionaires. They're not. There's a lot of high value men walking around shopping mall, gas station, movie theaters, game outlets and so forth, grocery stores. There's a lot of high value men out here, and there's a lot of high value women. Just giving you some credence and some credit here, if you will. All right, take care.